You already have everything you need. You don't have to chase after it. You don't have to strain, worry, or exhaust yourself to make something happen. It's already yours, and you just need to realize it. The world has taught us to believe that we need to struggle, to push, to try harder and harder to get what we want. But in truth, all that effort isn't necessary. The more we fight, the more we worry, the more we convince ourselves that we're somehow lacking, the further we push our desires away. There is a natural flow to life, a flow that is effortless, that brings what we want directly to us if we let it. When you understand this, everything changes. There's no need to try so hard. Stop pushing, stop chasing, stop struggling. What you want is already there. The only thing standing between you and what you desire is your own belief that you don't have it. Most people have been taught that success, happiness, and fulfillment come only to those who work the hardest, sacrifice the most, and constantly strive. They're taught that nothing worthwhile comes easy. But that's not true. Life isn't meant to be a constant struggle. There's nothing noble in exhausting yourself to prove your worth. You don't need to prove anything. You already have the potential inside you. It's there waiting for you to see it, to believe it, and to let it come into your life. Everything you want is already within your reach. The first step is to stop telling yourself that it's not. The idea that you need to work endlessly, worry constantly, and exhaust yourself to get what you want is a myth. It's a false belief that has been drilled into us for so long. Most people don't even realize it's there. They think the harder they push, the closer they'll get to success. But in reality, the harder they push, the further they drift from it. They make life a constant uphill battle when it doesn't have to be that way. When you focus on effort, when you're constantly thinking that you're not doing enough, you block yourself from the very things you're trying to achieve. You put up walls that stop the flow of what is meant for you. You get caught in your own resistance and your own doubts, and this is where so many people struggle. They believe they have to keep trying harder, keep pushing, keep forcing things to happen. But in reality, the less they try, the more they allow. The less they push, the more they receive. Look around you. Think about the times in your life when things just seemed to fall into place. When things worked out not because you forced them, but because they were meant to happen. That's the way life is supposed to work. Not by struggle, not by force, but by natural flow. The universe doesn't respond to effort. It responds to belief. It responds to your sense of certainty, your sense of already having what you want. When you act as if you already have what you desire, you open the door for it to come into your life. It's not about pretending or wishing. It's about knowing deep down that it's already yours. You don't have to convince anyone. You don't have to prove anything. You just need to relax, to trust, and to stop getting in your own way. Well, the moment you stop thinking you need to work harder, the moment you let go of the idea that more effort equals more success, everything changes. The things you've been chasing will start coming to you. You don't have to fight for what's already yours. That's the key. Stop fighting. Stop pushing. Stop worrying. Start believing that everything you want is already on its way to you. Start acting as if you already have it. Because when you do that, you align yourself with the natural flow of life. You become a magnet for the very things you've been working so hard to achieve. Most people are their own worst enemies. They get caught up in fear, doubt, and uncertainty. They tell themselves they're not good enough, not smart enough, not lucky enough. They convince themselves that success and happiness are for other people, not for them. And because they believe it, they live it. They create their own struggle. They create their own resistance. But the truth is, none of those beliefs are real. They're just thoughts. They're just ideas that have been passed down from one person to another, generation after generation, and you have the power to let them go. When you realize that the struggle isn't necessary, when you let go of the belief that you need to fight for what you want, you free yourself. You open yourself up to the limitless potential that's already within you. You stop blocking the very things you desire, and you start allowing them to come to you effortlessly. This is not about doing nothing. It's not about sitting back and waiting for life to hand you everything on a silver platter. It's about aligning your thoughts, your beliefs, and your actions with the truth that everything you want is already yours. When you do that, the actions you take will feel natural, effortless, and right. You'll know exactly what to do and when to do it, without overthinking, without second-guessing, without forcing. The things you desire are closer than you think. They're right there, waiting for you to stop pushing them away. They're waiting for you to stop telling yourself that you need to work harder. They're waiting for you to stop believing that you're not worthy of them. Because you are worthy. You always have been. It's not about earning it. It's not about proving anything. It's about realizing that everything you want, everything you've ever dreamed of, is already within your reach. The moment you stop chasing, the moment you stop trying to force it, is the moment it starts to flow into your life. This isn't just about success. It's about happiness, love, health, fulfillment, all of it. Every aspect of your life can change when you understand that it's not about trying harder. It's not about effort. It's about belief. It's about certainty. It's about knowing deep within yourself that you already have what you need. You already are enough. Too many people spend their lives searching for something that's already inside them. They're looking for happiness in the future, thinking that once they achieve a certain goal, then they'll be happy. But happiness isn't something you find outside of yourself. It's something you realize within. The same is true for success, love, and everything else you're striving for. It's already within you. It's already there. You just need to stop searching for it and start realizing it. When you stop trying to manifest, when you stop trying so hard, you make space for the things you want to come into your life naturally. You stop blocking them with your effort, with your doubts, with your fears. You let go of the resistance, and in doing so, you allow everything you've ever wanted to come to you. You stop chasing, and you start attracting. You stop struggling, and you start receiving. You don't have to keep looking for something that's already there. Stop telling yourself that you need to work harder, to do more, to be more. Stop convincing yourself that you're somehow lacking, because you're not. You never have been. You already are everything you need to be. You already have everything you need to have. You just need to stop getting in your own way. Stop blocking the flow. Stop believing that struggle is the only way. There's a natural ease to life that we've forgotten, an ease that allows us to achieve what we want without exhausting ourselves, without burning out, without constantly pushing and striving. When you allow that ease, when you let yourself relax into the belief that everything you want is already on its way to you, everything becomes simpler. Life becomes smoother. Success comes easier. Happiness flows naturally. The things you've been chasing stop running away from you and start moving toward you. What you want is already here. The only thing you need to do is to stop thinking that it's not. You don't have to try so hard. You don't have to prove anything. You don't have to struggle. Just let go of the belief that you're not enough, that you need to work harder, that you need to do more. The moment you let go of that belief, the moment you stop trying to manifest what's already yours, everything changes. Everything flows. You don't need to try harder. You need to believe that it's already yours. You need to trust that everything you desire is already on its way to you. And you need to stop getting in your own way. Because when you stop trying so hard, when you stop chasing, when you stop forcing, you allow what's meant for you to come into your life with ease. You open the door, and everything flows. You allow yourself to experience the natural rhythm of life. This rhythm is not one of constant pushing and pulling, not one of stress and exhaustion. It is a flow, a steady, calm current that moves you forward without resistance. This is the flow of abundance, the flow of well-being, the flow of joy. But you must be willing to trust it. You must be willing to let go of the need to control everything, the need to make things happen on your own timeline. When you let go of that control, you open up to the infinite possibilities that are already waiting for you. Too often, we think that if we're not actively striving, we're falling behind. But that's an illusion. It's the belief that we are somehow separate from the things we desire, that they're far off in the distance, and we must work endlessly to bridge that gap. But the truth is, there is no gap. What you want is already with you. It's already in your grasp, if only you could see it. If only you could stop telling yourself that it's far away, that it's hard to reach, that you need to struggle to get there. The more you push, the more you create tension, and tension blocks the flow of life. Imagine the way a river moves smoothly, effortlessly, always flowing toward its destination. It doesn't fight against the rocks in its path, it moves around them with ease. It doesn't struggle to keep going, it simply trusts that the current will take it where it needs to go. That's how life is meant to be for you. You are part of this flow, and when you align with it, you'll find that the things you want come to you without struggle, without strain. But here's the key: you have to let go of the idea that it's hard. You have to let go of the belief that success and happiness are something distant, something you need to work for. They're not. They're already here. The moment you let go of the need to try so hard, you allow the universe to work on your behalf. You allow opportunities to come to you, people to support you, and circumstances to align in your favor. This isn't magic. It's the natural way of life. When you stop resisting, everything falls into place. The effort you've been putting in is not what brings you what you want. It's your belief that you must struggle that creates the struggle. When you shift your mindset from one of striving to one of allowing, everything changes. You start to see that you don't need to be constantly busy, constantly hustling, constantly worrying. You start to realize that the things you've been chasing are already on their way to you, if only you'd stop blocking them with doubt and fear. This doesn't mean you sit back and do nothing, but it does mean that your actions become aligned with ease and flow. You take inspired action, not forced action. You act from a place of knowing, a place of confidence, rather than a place of fear or desperation. And this is where the real transformation happens. When you stop trying so hard to make things happen, you open yourself up to the effortless success that comes from trusting the process. It's important to understand that your desires are not separate from you. They are not something you need to reach out for, something you need to earn. They are a part of you, and they are already on their way to you. All you have to do is stop pushing them away with your doubts and your need to control every detail. Life has a way of unfolding perfectly when you let it. The more you relax, the more you trust, the more you will see how everything falls into place. The opportunities, the people, the resources, they will show up when you need them. But you must be open to receiving them. You must stop telling yourself that it's hard, that it's a struggle, that you need to do more, be more, or have more. You already have everything you need. You already are everything you need to be. The world tells us that we need to compete, that we need to fight for our place, that we need to prove our worth. But that's not how life works. You don't need to compete with anyone. You don't need to fight for what's already yours. The only competition is the one you create in your mind. The only struggle is the one you imagine for yourself. And the moment you let go of that, the moment you stop trying so hard, everything begins to change. You are enough, exactly as you are. You don't need to try to become more worthy of what you want. You don't need to prove yourself to anyone. You just need to accept that what you want is already yours. When you truly believe that, when you live from that place of certainty, the things you want flow to you effortlessly. It's not about waiting for them. It's about recognizing that they're already on their way, that they've been coming to you all along. The key to this is trust. Trust in yourself, trust in the process, trust in the natural flow of life. The more you trust, the easier everything becomes. The harder you try, the more resistance you create. It's like trying to hold on to water. It slips through your fingers the tighter you grip it. But when you open your hands, it stays with you. Life works the same way. When you stop trying to force things to happen, when you let go of the need to control every outcome, you allow the things you desire to come to you. And here's the beautiful part: when you stop trying so hard, you start to enjoy the process. You start to enjoy life in the moment, rather than constantly looking to the future, constantly working for some distant goal. You start to realize that the present is full of the very things you've been seeking. Happiness, peace, fulfillment, they're not in some far-off place. They're right here, right now, if you'll only allow yourself to see them. You don't need to try harder. You need to relax into the certainty that what you want is already yours. You need to let go of the idea that life is a struggle, that success is something you have to fight for. The moment you stop trying so hard, you'll discover that life has always been on your side. The things you desire are already within your reach, and the only thing you need to do is to stop pushing them away. The struggle you've been feeling is not necessary. It's a story you've been telling yourself, a belief that's been passed down to you. But you have the power to change that story. You have the power to let go of the belief that you need to work endlessly, that you need to try harder, that you need to do more. You don't. You need to trust. You need to allow. You need to believe that what you want is already yours, because it is. Everything you've been striving for is already within you. The love, the success, the happiness, it's already there, waiting for you to recognize it. And the moment you stop trying so hard to manifest it, the moment you stop chasing after it, it will come to you naturally. You'll realize that it's been there all along, just waiting for you to stop fighting, to stop struggling, and to start allowing. You are enough. You always have been. You don't need to prove anything. You don't need to fight for what's already yours. The universe is on your side, and everything you want is already on its way to you. The moment you stop trying so hard, the moment you stop pushing, the moment you let go of the belief that you need to do more, everything will change. Life will become easier, smoother, and more joyful. You'll realize that you've had the power all along, not in trying harder, but in letting go. Because when you let go, when you trust, when you allow, everything flows. You see, life isn't a battle to be won. It's not a race where you need to outpace everyone else. Life is a natural unfolding, a process that works perfectly when you allow it to. The constant pressure to manifest something, to push things into existence, to make things happen, that pressure is the very thing that keeps you from receiving what is already meant for you. It's the pressure that blinds you from seeing how close you are to everything you've been wanting. The moment you stop trying so hard to force your desires into reality is the moment you create space for them to arrive. It's not about abandoning your dreams or goals. It's about shifting your mindset from one of chasing and striving to one of receiving and allowing. What you want is already aligned with you. It's already on the path to you, but you must be open to receiving it. And you can't do that when you're constantly thinking you have to struggle or sacrifice to get there. Stop for a moment and think about the things that bring you the most joy, the moments in life when you felt truly at peace, truly happy. Did you have to fight for those moments? Did you have to strain and struggle to make them happen? Probably not. Those moments came naturally. They flowed into your life because you were open to them. You didn't block them with doubts or the belief that you needed to do more, be more, or have more. You were simply aligned with the flow of life, and that alignment brought those experiences into your reality. This is the key. Life is about alignment, not effort. It's about getting in tune with the frequency of what you want, not fighting to get to a place where you think it exists. When you are aligned with your desires, when your thoughts, beliefs, and actions are in harmony with what you want, you no longer have to chase anything. It comes to you. This is not some mystical idea. It's a fundamental truth about how life works. You become what you think about most. If you think that life is a constant struggle, that you need to try harder, that success or happiness is always just out of reach, then that's exactly what you will experience. But if you believe that what you want is already yours, if you trust that it's coming to you, if you stop pushing and allow life to bring it to you, that's what you will experience. This doesn't mean you don't take action. Of course, you will still act on your desires, but the difference is in how you act. When you are aligned with what you want, your actions become effortless. You move forward with a sense of ease, with a sense of certainty, knowing that the steps you take are leading you toward what's already yours. You're no longer trying to force things to happen. You're no longer worrying about the outcome. You're simply moving forward, trusting the process, trusting that what you desire is already making its way to you. This is where so many people get stuck. They confuse action with effort. They think that if they're not constantly grinding, constantly working harder, they're not making progress. But true progress doesn't come from grinding or forcing. It comes from inspired action, from taking steps that feel right, that feel natural, that flow from a place of trust and alignment. When you act from this place, everything feels easier. You stop second-guessing yourself. You stop worrying about whether you're doing enough. You stop trying to control every little detail because you know that things are already unfolding perfectly. It's about moving with life, not against it. When you move with the natural flow of life, you are in sync with everything you desire. You're not trying to drag your dreams toward you, they're already coming to you. All you have to do is stay open, stay aligned, and trust that what you want is already on its way. The actions you take from this place of alignment will be more powerful than any amount of effort you could ever muster through force. Think about the moments in your life where everything just seemed to fall into place. Those moments weren't filled with stress or strain. They happened because you were in the right place, at the right time, with the right mindset. You were aligned. And that's how life is supposed to be. It's not supposed to be a constant uphill battle. The idea that success and happiness only come to those who work the hardest is a myth. Success and happiness come to those who are aligned, to those who trust the process, to those who believe that what they want is already theirs. When you believe that what you want is already yours, you act differently. You move through life with confidence, with calmness, with a sense of ease. You don't feel the need to rush because you know that everything is happening as it should. You don't feel the need to worry because you trust that things are working out in your favor. And this is the most powerful place you can be, in this place of trust, of alignment, of certainty. The world is filled with people who are constantly trying, constantly pushing, constantly striving, and they wonder why they feel exhausted, why they feel like they're not getting anywhere. It's because they're working against the natural flow of life. They're trying to force things to happen instead of allowing them to happen. But when you stop trying so hard, when you let go of the need to control everything, when you trust that what you want is already on its way, you step into a completely different reality. You step into a life where things come to you with ease, where opportunities appear effortlessly, where the path ahead is clear and smooth. This doesn't mean that challenges won't arise. Life will always have its ups and downs, but the difference is how you approach them. When you're aligned, when you're no longer trying so hard, even the challenges become easier to handle. You don't see them as obstacles, you see them as part of the process. You trust that every challenge has a purpose, that it's guiding you toward what you want, rather than holding you back. And because of this mindset, you move through challenges with grace and ease, rather than with resistance and struggle. The shift happens when you stop thinking you have to fight for everything. The moment you stop thinking that success is something you have to chase, that happiness is something you need to earn, is the moment everything changes. You start to see life differently. You start to see that what you want is not something far away, but something that's already within you, something that's already on its way to you. You don't have to try so hard. You don't have to prove anything. You don't have to fight for what's already yours. The world is filled with abundance. There is more than enough for everyone. Your desires are valid, and they are on their way to you, but you must believe that. You must trust in the process. You must stop getting in your own way. The struggle isn't necessary. The doubt, the fear, the constant pushing, they only keep you from receiving what you want. The moment you let go of all of that, the moment you allow yourself to trust, to believe, to align with the truth that everything you want is already yours, everything will begin to flow. It's not about trying harder. It's about trusting more. It's about letting go of the need to control and allowing life to unfold in its natural, beautiful way. The things you've been working so hard to manifest, they're already there. They've been there all along. You just need to open yourself up to receive them. Stop blocking them with effort. Stop pushing them away with doubt. Let go, trust, and watch as everything falls into place. You already have everything you need. It's already yours. You just need to realize it. And when you do, when you truly believe it, you'll see how effortlessly life can work in your favor. You'll see that success, happiness, love, and fulfillment aren't things you need to chase. They're things that are already part of your life, waiting for you to receive them. Let go of the struggle. Let go of the need to try harder. Trust that everything you want is already yours, and watch as life unfolds for you in ways you never thought possible. When you truly embrace the idea that everything you want is already yours, something remarkable happens. You begin to feel lighter. The weight you've been carrying, the pressure to constantly prove yourself, to constantly be better, to do more, it all starts to dissolve. And in that space, you find something far more valuable: peace. This peace isn't the absence of action, but the presence of clarity. It's a calm knowing that you are exactly where you need to be, and that everything you desire is already moving toward you, as long as you allow it. Think about how much energy we waste worrying. Worrying about whether we're doing enough, worrying about what others think, worrying that we might fail. But worry is simply wasted energy. It does nothing to bring you closer to your goals. In fact, it pushes you further from them. Worry is rooted in fear, the fear that you might not get what you want, the fear that you're not enough, the fear that somehow you've missed the mark. But none of that is true. When you let go of worry, when you stop feeding that fear, you make room for confidence and certainty. You create space for the things you want to come to you. You stop questioning whether you deserve them, and you start acting from a place of knowing that they are already yours. You begin to live with a quiet confidence, a calm assurance that everything is working out in your favor. And that is the mindset that attracts success, happiness, love, and fulfillment. It's not about force. It's not about effort. It's about the energy you bring into your life. And when that energy is rooted in trust, in belief, in knowing, everything flows to you with ease. Most people go through life believing they need to constantly push against the current. They believe that if they're not struggling, they're not moving forward. But that's the greatest misconception of all. Progress doesn't come from struggle. Progress comes from alignment. It comes from moving with the flow of life, not against it. The universe doesn't reward struggle, it rewards alignment. When you are in harmony with your desires, when your thoughts, beliefs, and actions are all in sync with what you want, things start to happen for you, not to you. Look at the people who seem to have everything come easily to them. They're not special in some unique way that sets them apart from you. The difference is in their mindset. They believe that life is meant to be easy, that they deserve the things they desire, and that those things are already on their way. They're not constantly second-guessing themselves. They're not overthinking every step they take. They're not filled with self-doubt or fear. They trust the process. And because they trust, because they don't resist, things flow to them effortlessly. You can have that same experience. You can live that same way. The only thing standing in your way is the belief that you have to try harder. But the truth is, you've been trying too hard. You've been blocking the very things you desire by holding on to the belief that you're not enough, that you're not doing enough, that life is supposed to be difficult. It's time to let go of that belief. It's time to step into a new way of being, a way that is rooted in ease, trust, and alignment. There's a huge difference between working from a place of stress and working from a place of flow. When you're stressed, everything feels like a battle. Every decision is fraught with anxiety. Every step feels heavy, like you're dragging yourself forward. But when you're in flow, everything feels lighter. You're still taking action, but it doesn't feel forced. It feels natural. It feels right. That's because you're no longer trying to force life to bend to your will. You're moving in harmony with it, trusting that the path will reveal itself as you go. And that's the key, trust. When you trust, you stop trying to control every outcome. You stop worrying about how things will happen, and you simply allow them to happen. You take the steps that feel right, you make the choices that align with your desires, and then you let go of the need to micromanage the process. You trust that life knows what it's doing, that the things you want are on their way, and that all you need to do is stay aligned and open to receiving them. This is where most people struggle. They want to control everything. They want to know exactly how and when things will happen. But life doesn't work that way. The need for control is rooted in fear, and fear is the opposite of trust. When you're trying to control everything, you're essentially saying that you don't trust life, that you don't believe things can work out for you unless you force them to. But that belief only creates resistance. It creates tension, and that tension blocks the flow of what you want. The moment you let go of that need to control, you open the door to a whole new way of living. You start to notice opportunities that were always there but that you were too stressed or too focused on controlling to see. You start to attract the right people, the right circumstances, the right resources without having to work so hard for them. They come to you because you're no longer pushing them away with your fear and your need for control. The things you want are already lined up for you. They've been lined up for you all along, but you've been too busy trying to force them into place to notice. You've been so focused on making things happen that you've forgotten how to let things happen, and that's the shift you need to make. It's not about trying harder, it's about letting go. It's about trusting that what's meant for you is already on its way, and that you don't need to struggle or strive to receive it. Once you understand this, you'll start to see evidence of it everywhere. You'll notice how easily things start to fall into place when you stop trying so hard. You'll see how the things you've been chasing start coming to you when you stop chasing them. You'll realize that the only thing standing between you and what you want was your own resistance, your own belief that you had to fight for it. But now you know better. You don't have to fight. You don't have to struggle. You don't have to prove anything. The moment you let go of all that, the moment you start believing that everything you want is already yours, the universe responds. It brings you what you want with ease, not because you earned it through effort, but because you aligned with it through trust. So stop trying so hard to manifest. Stop telling yourself that you need to do more, be more, or have more before you can have what you want. You don't. You are already enough. Everything you want is already within your reach. You just need to relax, trust, and allow it to come to you. Or let go of the need to control. Let go of the belief that life is a struggle. Let go of the idea that you need to work harder to get what you want. Trust in the process. Trust in yourself. Trust that the things you desire are already making their way to you. And when you do that, when you truly believe that what you want is already yours, life will respond in ways that will surprise and delight you. You'll realize that you didn't need to try so hard after all. You didn't need to chase or force or struggle. All you needed to do was believe, trust, and allow. And in that space of belief and trust, everything you've ever wanted will flow into your life with ease. Because it's already yours. It always has been. When you come to the full realization that everything you've been striving for is already yours, you step into a new state of being. This state isn't filled with anxiety or a sense of urgency, it's filled with peace, with calm certainty. You no longer feel the need to rush because you understand that nothing in life is ever truly delayed. The things you've wanted have always been on their way to you. It was only your impatience or fear that made them seem distant. In this new state, your energy shifts. Instead of operating from a place of lack, you start to live from a place of abundance. You no longer look at life as a series of obstacles you have to overcome, but as a series of experiences that are all moving you toward the fulfillment of your desires. You see the opportunities in front of you with clarity because you're no longer clouded by the belief that life is hard or that you have to do more to deserve what you want. That belief is dissolved. Living from a state of abundance means recognizing that you are enough, that you've always been enough. It means letting go of the idea that you need to improve yourself constantly before you can have what you want. Improvement comes naturally when you align with your true self, but it doesn't come from a place of feeling incomplete. You aren't incomplete. Everything you want is simply a reflection of who you already are. When you stop trying so hard, you shift from chasing after life to allowing life to unfold before you. This doesn't mean that you sit back and do nothing. It means that you act with intention and purpose, knowing that what is meant for you will come with ease when you are aligned. Your actions are no longer frantic or desperate. They are steady and confident because you're no longer trying to force an outcome. You trust that the right opportunities, the right people, the right circumstances will come at exactly the right time. Trust is a powerful thing. When you trust that what you want is already yours, you stop resisting. You stop second-guessing yourself. You stop allowing fear to dictate your decisions. Fear loses its power over you when you understand that life is not working against you, it's working for you. Every experience you have is guiding you toward what you want, even if it doesn't look that way at first. Sometimes life takes you on a different path, one that you didn't expect, but it's always the right path when you trust that the destination is the same. This kind of trust isn't passive, it's active. It's a choice you make every day to believe in yourself, to believe in the process, and to believe that life is always working in your favor. It requires you to let go of the doubts that have been holding you back. It requires you to let go of the fear that if you're not constantly striving, you'll somehow fall behind. You won't. Life isn't a race. There is no competition for what's meant for you. No one can take away what's already yours. When you fully grasp this, you'll feel a sense of freedom you've never experienced before. You'll feel lighter, more at ease, more in tune with who you truly are. You'll stop comparing yourself to others because you'll understand that everyone's path is different. What's meant for them doesn't take away from what's meant for you. You'll stop seeking external validation because you'll know, deep down, that you are enough as you are, and that your worth isn't determined by how hard you work or how much you achieve. Your worth is inherent. This freedom brings joy. You begin to enjoy the process of life, rather than feeling like you're constantly chasing after some distant goal. You appreciate where you are, knowing that it's exactly where you need to be. You stop rushing toward the future, and you start living fully in the present. And in doing so, you open yourself up to receive everything you've been wanting, often in ways that are even better than you could have imagined. The truth is, life is not something to be conquered or controlled. It's something to be lived, experienced, and embraced. When you're no longer caught in the cycle of trying harder, when you stop believing that you need to manifest something that's somehow out of reach, you realize that the only thing you ever needed to do was to allow life to flow, allow yourself to receive, allow things to unfold in their own perfect timing. This shift in perspective doesn't mean that challenges won't arise. Life will always present you with situations that ask you to grow, to stretch, to step outside your comfort zone. But when you approach those challenges with the understanding that they are part of the journey, that they are helping you align even more with what you desire, they stop feeling like obstacles. Instead, they become stepping stones. And with each step, you move closer to the effortless flow of life that has always been available to you. You start to see that the very act of trying so hard was what was keeping you from everything you wanted. The more you struggled, the more you pushed your desires away. But when you let go, when you release the need to control, when you trust that life is always working in your favor, you open yourself up to receiving everything you've been working toward, all without the struggle, without the stress, without the constant effort. You begin to understand that ease doesn't mean laziness. It doesn't mean inaction. It means living in alignment with who you truly are, trusting in the flow of life, and taking inspired action from that place of trust. Inspired action feels different from forced action. It feels natural, effortless, even joyful. You're not acting out of fear or desperation. You're acting from a place of knowing, from a place of certainty that everything you want is already on its way. This is the difference between living a life of resistance and living a life of flow. When you're in resistance, everything feels difficult. You're constantly questioning yourself, constantly doubting whether you're on the right path. But when you're in flow, everything feels easier. You trust yourself. You trust the process. And because of that trust, things come to you more effortlessly. Opportunities present themselves at the right time. People show up in your life exactly when you need them. You start to notice the synchronicities that have always been there, guiding you toward what you want. Life becomes a dance, a beautiful, effortless dance where you're not forcing the next step, but allowing it to unfold naturally. You're not worried about what comes next because you know that whatever it is, it's exactly what's meant for you. You're not in a hurry to reach the end because you realize that the journey itself is where the joy is. And because you're no longer caught in the cycle of striving and struggling, you can finally enjoy that journey. This is the key to everything. It's not about manifesting some distant goal. It's about realizing that what you want is already yours. It's about trusting that life is always bringing you exactly what you need when you need it. And it's about letting go of the belief that you need to try harder to make it happen. You don't need to try harder. You need to trust more. You need to believe in yourself more. You need to let go of the doubts, the fears, the need to control every outcome, and allow life to bring you what's already yours. Everything you want is already here, waiting for you to receive it. The only thing that's been keeping it at a distance is the belief that you need to struggle for it. But you don't. You've never needed to. All you've ever needed to do is trust that it's already on its way, that it's already yours. And when you let go of the need to try so hard, when you relax into the flow of life, you'll see that everything you've ever wanted has been within reach all along. It's already yours. It always has been. You just needed to realize it.